I've seen on the streets. I've seen people being. I've seen people shot. I've seen people open fire on the places over there. Spray the front of the store. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning, but there were still people sitting out there. And I've had somebody, one of the guys I buy fentanyl from, and he had a newborn baby and a 7-year-old child in his house, and they sprayed the front of his house, all up, just right over here, just because competition type bullshit. And on the streets too, I've seen also somebody just buying a bike and a girl and with a 2x4 take it to another girl.
This is Addict Stories 101, where we have the pleasure and honor to introduce Lisa. Welcome.
Hi, how are you doing?
If you don't mind just starting off by reintroducing yourself, letting us know your name, where are you from, and how long would you say you've been what is considered addict?
My name's Lisa. I'm originally from California, born and raised in San Diego, military brat, and then lived in Los Angeles for about 7, 8 years, went to college there, and then moved to Texas, Dallas, Texas for a job. It was a job offer. And I've been an addict since the day I was born. I mean, you got to accept that. I mean, I own it, because there's no reason to hide it or whatever. Started with alcohol and then pills and then street.
We're definitely going to come right back to as far as alcohol, pills, and then everything else. But as of right now, what is your DOC, which is considered drug of choice?
Is fentanyl, opiates, fentanyl.
Okay, that's a tough one. Because a lot of people in America don't quite know what fentanyl is. They don't know what form it comes in, how the intake is. So, as an education, if you don't mind, let us know exactly what
most people
fentanyl is.
Most people, with opiates, usually a lot of people you'll talk to started off with painkillers from some kind of overprescribed, doctor just giving them whatever they want, or they had an injury, an accident, and then the doctors do what they call firing you instead of helping you get off of them or an alternative method, even pain management doctors. So what do? You're taking more pills, you're buying them illegally if you can, and then somebody tells you, hey, there's a thing called heroin. And then you're like, okay, well, heroin's needles. Those are junkies. No, most of the people that do heroin, when I started doing it, were either smoking it or snorting it. The cheese thing. And so it's a lot easier, faster, cheaper, get it when you want it, and all sorts of fun things. And then, you plateau out on that because there's only so much you can do of it in a day when it's not, it might be getting you well, but you're not getting high. And, hey, I want to do something I can get high on. But opiates, people have to understand that opiates, everybody's got a fiend for it. Everybody's got, are you feeding for that drug? I want that high, whatever. But opiates are different because you do have a physical withdrawal from it. I mean, you could get seriously sick feeling from it. I mean, we're talking like the full-blown flu, and then you have emotional problems from it, anxiety and all sorts of weird things, But so, heroin. So then I went to blues, which is a form of, it's an opiate, but it's a form of fentanyl. There's fentanyl in it, and some, and then you just go to straight raw fentanyl. And so I know a few people that have been doing it for a while. They do shoot it, but I wouldn't suggest it for anybody because it is very dangerous, And it's a dangerous. I mean, most people smoke it. Some people snort it. That's not, it's smoking. It's faster, because when you smoke it, even heroin, you get your whatever. If you're sick, you get well instantly. Smoking just goes right there. But yeah, I've OD'd.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, more than once on fentanyl. Never on heroin. See, I never was a needle user when I did heroin. I don't like needles.
How are you taking the fentanyl?
How am I doing it?
Yes.
I smoke it.
Smoke it through a pipe?
No, on foil mostly. When I used to do quite a bit of it, and I had money then. I would use a nectar collector. But now it's just on foil, which is not good anyways because. Aluminum, I mean, you're not supposed to be sucking things off aluminum. You're not supposed to be cooking with the crap anymore. You're sucking crap off of it, So, but yeah, I've OD'd. It's, my suggestion is if you're going to do that stuff, don't say, I know how to do it. I've been around. You don't know when you're getting it, even from the same dude or same, whatever his deal or whatever you want to call him, businessman. You don't know. He don't even know. because he doesn't know where he might be getting it from the same plug, whatever. They don't know. I mean, it could be stronger that time. It could be a different, it could have more trank in it, which is cut that they use, which is really dangerous. Or it could have more of this in it, that in it. You don't know, everything is different, reacts different. And this is a dangerous one to be, fucking with.
Yes.
And so make sure you do it with people around you, and make sure that you have, they don't have to have it, but if it's a house where everybody knows that people come by to do it, or it's your boyfriend or whatever, girlfriend, make sure that they have Narcan. And because Narcan has saved my life more than once.
Explain a little bit about Narcan and how that.
Narcan you could do it up the nose now, so it's simple, because before they had to do it, administer it a different way. And make sure that you got to put up the person's nostril and, that it doesn't come, like their head doesn't come back down out, because it will, because sometimes they have to do 2 or 3 of them. But if you're on number 3 up the nose, don't be afraid of them because of the situation you're in, or if you have warrants or whatever, you can call paramedics, because it doesn't matter if you have warrants if you're dead, if the person's dead. And you got a whole other problem.
Can you explain what Narcan is doing?
Narcan is, what it does is, it stops you from ODing. Basically, it sucks all the opiate out of your system and your brain. And it's not fun. We don't like it as addicts, because you'll wake up soaking wet and like, what happened? And people will be saying, "Are you okay? Okay." And, but you're like, damn, you got like about 5 minutes, in about 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to feel like somebody killed you. Wow. Because you got to think about it. It sends you into what they call precipitated withdrawals. Okay. So you are like the worst height of your withdrawal right there. It's really bad, but it's better than being dead, I guess.
When it comes, and again, we're going to stay on Narcan for a second, and the ODing,
mm-hmm.
Do you know that you're ODing?
No, when you wake up. Sometimes, one time I was like, oh, no. I said, you guys, I'm going to go out. And I said, somebody help me. And they started just, hitting me and like walking around and trying to dance with me and stuff like that to keep a person awake, because what it does is it just, relaxes you so much, the drug, it shuts off everything. Now, I've saved people, this area of rural Narcan, but up North Dallas, I've saved people, because they've been doing a lot longer up there, and plus it's just a different crowd. I've seen people by just doing CPR on them, because like heroin is like your brain and your cardiac, and everything shuts off. Where that in other opiates like that too, but fentanyl pretty much just you forget to breathe. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, you forget to breathe. So if you breathe for the person and let them, they'll come back. I know it's easy to do the Narcan, but a lot of addicts don't like. They'll say don't Narcan because what it does to you physically, and also just it's a horrible process. Narcan, but
sorry about that. If you don't mind, I want to take you back to the first, and I understand that this is a touchy experience, but can you take me back to the first time that you realized that you were having, that you were in the process of ODing? Overdosing.
I knew I was going to go out. Like, I just started to feel it in my head.
Could you explain what was happening there?
I took a hit of it. I knew it was too big of a hit, but I was just being greedy. Mm-hmm. And it was like it started like I was sucking it in. I should have stopped, and my head started. It's just a certain spin I had. It's like me knowing my own body. I don't know how other people feel, but I couldn't tell you. But that but yeah, it's scary. Yeah, but it's really weird when you wake up you're like, what's going on?
Was somebody there with you to like?
Well, yeah, because I was Narcaned.
Okay.
I was Narcaned every time, and one time, the time in North Dallas when my husband was there, yeah, that was bad because they plateaued out on my. They had to call the paramedics, so they plateaued out on my Narcan. Wow. The paramedics was like, "We've done 6. I'm going to call."
6.
Yeah, he goes, I can't take responsibility for this. The paramedics were telling him, and my husband he'd already started doing compressions, Narcan, and they had a breather on me, and I just got out of the hospital. That's a dumb thing to do. And the paramedic said, we can't call it. We're going to let somebody, because of the situation, fentanyl, we're going to go ahead and take her in. They'll probably trach her, let family do whatever, and then they'll talk to you about what they want to do. And they said, but they thought I was gone. They were like, she's gone. And I heard people, then I heard Leon say something really rude about, it's a stupid bitch. Stupid bitch. And I said, I go, what the fuck's going on? Am I still in the hospital? And then I just started talking to them because I see the paramedics and the medical stuff, and I'm like, but I was fine.
When doing these interviews, we really like to go into the when, the where, the what, the why. And right now, I would like to know, How far back, you said since the beginning, but how far back does addiction go, not just with you, but with your family? You're from a military family.
It goes way back. Alcoholism runs my family.
Okay.
And I believe that is genetic. I mean, because you can follow a path in my family of who has it, and who doesn't have it. But they have other, it's just straight up addiction. And it's on my mother's side. My brother and my mother are addicts, but it's not drugs or alcohol. They're addicted to other, but like my brother's gambling, my mother's shopping, and it's an addiction. I mean,
Growing up, what was your household like?
Oh, my house, it was like a model home. Mom, dad, everything was fine. Everything, it's typical something, but it was nothing where, I had everything I wanted and everything, upper middle. I mean, yeah, the dog, the cat, all that kind of stuff.
So when did you first start experimenting with not alcohol, but what alcohol led you into?
Probably when I was about 15. Yeah.
And what would that be?
Just pills and weed and shit like that. Okay. And when I was growing up, there was a lot of things like were popular, like the drugs were starting, the ecstasy and all that kind of crap. See, I went to.
This is the 80s.
Yeah, I went to college when I was 15, so that was kind of like, that was like, here I am like a kid still, but I'm with people that are in their,
So you were well educated, so you didn't just come from like your normal, cat and dog, but you actually were straight A student, or
yeah.
I mean, how did you?
I have a really high IQ too, and my brother's a surgeon at Children's Hospital, and his son went to MIT at the age of 11 or 12. There's a lot of brain in my family.
Okay.
But
And so, what did you major in? When you went to school?
I have two undergrad degrees. I have a BS and a BA, and they're both in business with marketing type shit. Wow. And then I have an MBA, and I was gonna, I didn't finish. I was gonna go on to law school. I didn't finish it. I was too busy doing the most.
So, if you don't mind us asking, well, you said you've been addicted your whole life. Mm-hmm. Meaning, was your parents?
No. I mean, I just, as long as I can remember, it was like, let's change what's going on in my head. Let's get high, somehow, some way. My brother was, playing around with weed and also, that kind of crap. And so it was a big thing with weed back then. And then they started getting into psychedelic drugs and cocaine. And then also there's meth everywhere,
What was your first time trying cocaine? How old were you?
Probably about 15.
15 years old. Who introduced it to you?
My brother.
And do you remember him introducing it to you and what your thought process was? Like, did you wonder what it was? Like,
no, it's like, give it to me. Because it's my big brother. It means I can hang around with him,
This is the MIT?
And that was my nephew. That's my brother that was giving me the coke. His son went to MIT. He's young still.
Okay.
My brother is well educated, and he's a doctor now. Mm-hmm. But he was he saw, but he doesn't have that drive for the addiction part. I mean, he got involved with some people selling drugs and things like that in our family and everything. And but then he realized when one of them got like 18 years or something for some drug stuff, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to do all this. It's going to take a while, but I'm going to do it."
15 was an experience for you.
Yeah, so it was.
At this time, you were already this cocaine. There's
plus, that's 80s and 90s, late 80s and 90s. We're talking about cocaine. Cocaine was Pablo Escobar, Colombian cocaine,
right.
And there's nothing like it ever since.
Well, and tell me what that experience was like. What was it like to have that kind of cocaine back then? Like, what was the feeling? What is the difference in it now? What is the?
Oh, it was great back then. I mean, you were just like, I don't know. Now it's like, and I'll smoke crack now. I mean, just to smoke it because I know I'm not going to turn into one of those window lickers, or those beep beep beep, or hey, your carpet. I shouldn't put the people down. But back then, you would never ever see me sitting next to a person that smokes crack. If I did, I didn't know they did. I mean, it was just totally different. I mean, I didn't know anything about crack, but I knew a lot about powder. Everyone was doing powder because I was in Los Angeles then.
Right. Where were you when crack hit the scene?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Wow. And so you said that you have. When did you first experiment with crack cocaine?
When I tried crack, it was here in Texas. It was probably only like a year ago.
Well, and second, what was
I thought he was going to instantly change me into one of those window lickers. Yeah. I thought it was like instantly, and it changed me into one of those window lickers. I'm sorry, people.
Oh, yeah, I mean, do they lick windows? Oh, crack.
They do all sorts of beep, 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 and all sorts of weird things. Maybe you should cut that out. I'm having a bunch of people beat me up now. The crackheads are coming. Like, you just missed a little Willie in the neighborhood who came up and started yelling at me. And then he started spitting on the guy. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I gotta get this shit out of me, police bitch. And I'm like, I said, hey, it's Lisa. Oh, hey, where's Tyrone at? And I'm like, I don't know. I said, and he started whopping off. I said, you left your crap right there. See, if I wasn't a cool person out here, I would have gone over there and picked up that $4 worth of crack and sat and smoked it or gave it away or sold it or whatever, you know?
Wait, and to preface this.
Like, he couldn't sit here this long. I mean,
and to preface this interview, you're high right now.
Yeah, I'm high right now.
Off what?
What did I smoke? Meth.
Jeez.
Yeah. Then I hit some crack with Willie real quick. I had to, otherwise he was going to call the alien police on me.
Right.
Stupid white bitch. I'm like, oh my God. He's only about my size too. He's a little guy. He's cute.
So
not really.
You tried crack about a year ago. Why? Like, you never tried it before? You just wanted
Why not?
Why not?
I mean, I knew it.
Break that down mentally, because I'm like,
I'm sitting there getting high off of stuff that I could die from, and it's way too expensive. So let's try this crap. I don't know who I was with. They're like, here, try this. And then, I've smoked wet. I've done, I mean, I'm like one of those people. Let's try something new,
Yeah. Okay.
The wet is a suggestion. No, never, not. Make sure you're home with friends, family.
Your favorite drug and your worst drug.
My what?
Favorite drug, which
is fentanyl, opiates.
And your worst, the one that has done you the worst. The highest high and the lowest low.
Probably the same drug.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now.
Or alcohol, probably.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Interesting. So when you have alcohol in your system, what does that do? Like, what kind of role does that play when you have when you're doing these other drugs? Is that like, I know alcohol has its own.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, alcohol. I'm very nice and very charming for about 20 minutes into my drinking, and then I black out. I'm a drunk that didn't get drunk. I'm an alcoholic that didn't get drunk or drink every day.
Right.
But when I drank, I had to drink until I was, passed out or blacked out somewhere, until I couldn't raise it up to my mouth anymore. And that's no good. No, alcohol, drugs are bad too, but alcohol, I think, is one of the worst there is out there. I really do. I really do.
I'm very interested in how, and I'm going to go back to the timeline here. I'm very interested in how, were you able to, even though you were at 15 years old already experimenting with these drugs, by the time you went to college, which was what, you said 16, like that?
No, I was 15 when I went to college.
So you're going through these college years, through your teenage years. Did that progress? Did drug abuse progress during that time? Or were you getting back to schoolwork?
No, party. I went to school at USC. I mean, hello.
Right.
And I'm cute, except for I had a problem that I'll never forget what this one guy said. He goes, he said to me, it was, I don't know, some party at some frat house. And he's like, this is my house. I'm the president of this frat. He's like, are you even old enough to drink? Because I won't judge you because, because we're in college. So, don't worry about the 21 law. But then he said, are you old enough to, he looked at me again, he goes, are you old enough? I said, let me just lay it out for you. I am not old enough to buy cigarettes. I'm not old enough to vote. I am not even old enough to drive a car. Yeah. Okay. He's like, get her out of here now. Now. I was like, bye. I'll see you next week.
So you graduate from college and then you get married. Tell me about you said that you were married, your husband was helping you during your overdose.
No,
that's a different husband now.
Okay, so
I'm 55 years old, sweet. I've been married 4 times.
Wait, I have to ask that because you said your husband watched you overdose.
Well, yeah, one of the husbands, yeah.
So was he getting high with you, or?
No, but he brought me that. He's in the business.
Okay, so he's a.
Yeah.
He was a dealer, or let's say.
And he specializes in Fetty Wap.
Oh, okay.
He's not from around here, so it's okay.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But no, so are you currently married now?
To him, yes.
Okay. And he was with you when you last OD'd?
Oh, no. Are you kidding me? That was the first time I OD'd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You OD'd 4 times.
No, I was married 4 times. I don't OD with every husband. I mean, that's how I get out of the marriage, right? Gotta go. I'm gonna OD.
Okay, now, but tell me how you met your first husband, and was he also, maybe not an addict, but was he also using at the time?
My first husband did not use drugs, does not use drugs, and he drank beer, but here and there, and I met him when I was in college.
What was that relationship like?
We're still friends today. He had a really bad accident, and you live off of adrenaline, and then you sit down and everything's okay after, and you realize that, hey, we're like best friends. Let's before we both get buzzed or drunk one night and end up having to stay together because there's a baby or something, let's get this over with. So it was.
Did you have children?
I don't have children at all.
Okay.
And then I moved to Texas and I got married. Again, I was with him for 13 years, married to him for 12.
Did you want children?
You
didn't want children?
No.
Okay.
I did and I didn't. Yeah, because this world is too fucked up.
For you to get high as much as you've been getting high, for how long you've been getting high,
Mm-hmm.
What is more important to you than getting high? Like, what do you put above getting high?
A lot of things. I would like to be back, having somewhat of a normal life, work. I would love to say I have a job right now, a regular job, not some of the other jobs. And yeah, I'm too old for some of those other jobs. I look better than most. I don't smile. My teeth are bad, but that's from prison. That's not from the streets or from bad or drug or whatever. That's from bad water. Thank you, TD fucking C. Yeah.
I'll touch on the prison stuff.
So,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, family. I'd like to reconnect with my mother. I did after I went to I'm okay with my father. I did after I went to, got out of prison, and then my brother stopped it and had a judgment put against me, which I don't have the means or way to fight it right now. You don't have the groundwork to even start it. He put a type of restraining order on that I'm a dangerous individual because of what I was charged with and what I've done, and things like that. And it's just stupid. My brother just wants her money. He wants to control her. But, she cried. And right now, it's like, I want to see my mother or whatever, but she's got dementia so bad she thinks my niece is me and all these other things. So I don't even know, but I just feel like it needs to be done, but I don't think it will before. She's going to be 86 on Tuesday.
What did your mother, or what did she think of your drug habit?
I mean, she was supportive of what, but she didn't like it because she didn't like the people that were around me. And she didn't like how I got involved in it, Because I wasn't just doing them, I was selling them. I was involved with people that were not just, drug dealers. They're organized crime. They're much different,
When did you first start selling?
Probably, I was still working. I had a corporate job for years.
Okay.
And I was still working there, and probably I started selling them when I was, I don't know. I had just divorced after 12 years. I just divorced Drew. Drew, number two. I just divorced Drew, bought my own house, and do my own thing. And then I met somebody and started selling and working with him. And
so you knew Drew during the time that you...
I was still an addict, yeah, but I was pills.
Okay.
Doctors were taking care of me then. And I was still drinking then. Because I divorced him in 2008, and I stopped drinking in 2007.
What? Okay, so is this the pill mill era?
But alcohol was real bad. I was drinking up until that time.
No, but I'm saying like the pill mills. Is this when they were pumping the?
Yeah, the doctors were. Yeah, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
I heard about this.
Yeah, and it wasn't just pain relievers. It's benzos. Which is Xanax and Valium and all that shit. All the big nasty ones. Yeah.
Like walk me through what your daily deals were like. Like when you were in that life. How were you making your money? Drew is a trust fund baby. He has 2 trusts on each side. Yeah, and he's also an executive way up at Ericsson Telecom. I was an executive at a big research firm. So, we both were 6-figure salaries.
Lisa, wait a minute. This sounds like a fall from grace.
And it's nothing, there's no lies here. I'm telling you the truth. And I'm not the only one out there. There's a lot of people like that.
No, definitely. When was the last time you say you had your shit together? Let me say that.
What do you call Depends on what. Because I had a house and some money.
Yeah, right.
But all money's not good money. Some of it's dirty money. And I went to fall from grace. I went to prison, got out, and stacked some cash up. And I said, "Fuck you," to people who had your type of genitals. I'm going to stomp all over you motherfuckers. I took charges for, I stand by your man, that's me. I took charges for the third husband because I knew he'd be in prison for a while because of his background.
I was going to ask, what did you go to prison for?
I went to prison for organized crime, car theft ring.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is this the business that the third husband was in?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit, can you go extend a little bit more on how you met your third husband and what that relationship was like, especially with use, and was he also using in that organized crime?
Yeah, he was, he's using, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, the mic, am I okay?
You're good.
I met him from a friend of mine, and I didn't know her relationship with him until I knew his full capacity of what he was and who he is, and then I found out what she was to him, and that.
Who were they to each other?
She was a high-end call girl, and he owned her. He's I'll say I don't care. I mean, I'm not afraid of these people. I mean, because I
This is
already
after prison, correct?
Huh?
This is after prison?
Oh no, this is right before prison.
Okay.
Yeah, before prison. He's I'm just say because he's got a high rank. It's not just drugs. He's organized. He does everything. He's in a recognized criminal organization. It's the Latin Kings. He's a general in Latin Kings. He's been, he's gone through a RICO investigation. My mother-in-law is the Latin Queen, and she's in the feds. And he had 637 people, because they went through a RICO Act in 2000. What year is it? Because that's when I left. I had to leave everything, and then I went to prison and got out and didn't talk. Well, I talked to him when I got out of prison, but I couldn't. I don't want to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's, I had to leave everything because everything was connected to them. That's all I gotta say. But I'm. Yeah. And he, I think, was it 2019 when the Kings? I don't know. Look it up. You guys should look it up on the internet because there was a press conference from the feds when they did that, when they announced that they were going after the most notorious gang in the world. Stupid crap they said. Yeah, but I don't want to be accused. I don't want the feds. I've been absolved of all that.
So, what was the life? What kind of lifestyle did you have with a general of the Latin Kings? What was that lifestyle like? You had cars, you had money, you had
houses.
Clothes. You were already making money. You're used to making six figures. So, what was that life like? It
was great. Any drug I wanted, and as long as I did in moderation or didn't display in public anything that would embarrass him. But I had, there's all sorts of things. Power, I mean, there's, but...
You rather slap somebody?
We had 3 houses, what?
You rather slap anybody?
Me?
Beat up a woman?
Did I beat up a woman?
Yeah, just to, power.
No, but I watched my mother-in-law beat up a few women. One on the front lawn. It was hilarious. Because my thing was about it. Okay, he's a man, and what he's into, and whatever. I just told him, I said, I don't care. Get your dick sucked, fuck a bitch, wear a condom, whatever. I don't care about that because, just don't tell them where we live, and don't get them pregnant or all that kind of crap. Because I had this. They only had this and this.
Yeah, see, there you go, hard. You had 3 houses.
What? Yeah, not now.
You had at that time 3 houses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind me asking you, what is your favorite drug? Meaning, what is your favorite high?
Fentanyl, opiates.
Did it lead up to that, or right when you took that? What kind of high does that give?
Right when first time I took a painkiller, I was like, woo! First time I took a painkiller was hydrocodone. After I broke my arm, I was like, yes, I found my love of my life. Not the rest of you. I thought it was alcohol, but no, it was because I knew the alcohol was just. I mean, I would love to get drunk, but I know I can't do it because I did. And this is
what type of liquor were you drinking? Or type of anything type of alcohol?
I love tequila and I love beer. Good beer.
Dangerous mix.
Yeah, and so I hate driving. I really hate driving. even though I had a nice car and everything. I just hated driving because I was always in traffic when I went to work. But when I got drunk, for some reason, this bitch found anybody's keys. I'm going to go drive somewhere. I'm going to go drive up your lawn. I'm going to go drive and see if the mayor's home. Whatever.
You just wanted to drive.
I just wanted to drive. And that is not a good thing. Especially living in Frisco, Texas.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You had a DUI before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the DUI? Like what was going on?
Because there's some other charges too, including assault on a police officer. But I had money then. I was a good girl then. We were in Frisco. You can just
take care of
grand jury, no indict. Now I'd be had all that. I mean, this poor guy, I felt so sorry for him, to this officer, because he was trying to help me. And he was really trying to help me because I was bawling and screaming about going through this divorce with Drew. And I just got out of the car and I looked at him. I'm like barely 5'2", 5'3". And this guy was like 6'5", and I just climbed up and started beating shit out of him.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I couldn't even tase her. I couldn't even do anything because I thought you'd have a heart attack or something. Yeah. Plus I was too close to him.
Is that the worst run-in that you've ever had with the police?
Oh, yeah. Except for in Louisville, we had a house in Louisville. The husband I have now, we had a house in Louisville and a house in North Dallas. And we did have, but they weren't mean or rude or anything. They were just, I had a homicide that happened in the house. So they had, there was a body there. So they had to come. But they were.
A body there?
Well, yeah, someone got killed in my home there. And I was there, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
These houses out, or these?
No, people were selling drugs out there.
Yeah, okay.
They weren't traps, but there was weight there, and things like that. And it was a guy that lived there. I was there on and off. I'd go back and forth, and he. This was like the most current thing that took me back down. He was. He always was messing with different girls and stuff like that. Because they're dope whores and stuff. And I came home from going to this furniture place to find this. Something that was for the living room, a piece of furniture with my best friend, who was like the house mom that took care of everything and whatever. And so her and I walked in the door, and it was really weird because my friend just had got there, and he, he's kind of like not new to drugs. He's educated too. He's actually an accountant and everything. And he's like, "There's something wrong with Will." He's like gurgling, and I'm like, "What?" And the dog was acting. My little French bulldog was like making these weird noises and stuff, like he was upset. And I go back there, and he's just bleeding. He's gurgling. I mean, he's gone. I mean, he's drowning in his own blood. And I was like, she stabbed him, I guess. I wasn't there when it happened, but of course, God dang. And then they started tearing everything up in the house, and it was insecure where it was supposed to be all the dope stuff. So, that was.
So these are people that are still keeping 9-to-5 jobs, or
some of them were.
Some of them, and some of them are actually in the corporate world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so yeah, I mean, it wasn't like the other one was like crazy because I was trying to fight this. That was like years prior too. This one was more like it was just because of what happened and what was going on there, and all of us, 4 of us went to jail that day. It was horrible because they were just starting to read off charges. And that's Louisville. You know how Denton County is. Yeah, do not go to Denton County, people. They're nice, but they're nice.
I want to. We also during the interviews we like to know when did you first start noticing that shit is going in reverse and that oh shit moment, like I could be homeless, I could be on the streets. Like when was that point to where you went from sheltered to unsheltered?
Probably the first time I got arrested on the warrant of the organized crime thing. I was like, it was, I was like, this is not.
Explain, like, so is it because you went to jail and then once you got out of prison, like you had nobody there?
Kind of there, and there was just things like, that was when the one husband was going through the federal investigation and things like that. So it was like, everything was just like being sold off or taken over or whatever, or seized or whatever. It was just so much that I didn't expect, but it does happen, yeah.
How much do you think, how in dollar amount, how much money do you think had been seized from that?
I mean, not necessarily seized, just lost, or, I don't want to say seized, because that's, putting something on the feds that I don't know anything about, technically what they, I don't want to mess with them, please.
But you don't have a dollar amount?
No, but it is a lot of money. I mean,
because when you said this was a car theft ring, high-end, I would assume.
Yeah.
Like Lamborghini, Ferrari, or just Mercedes?
No, it was high end because like the amount of, money, that was, it was ordered from people over the border. Mm-hmm. And a certain truck They're capos, captains driving in a certain other vehicle. They're higher echelon drives, like SUV.
So like gone in 60 seconds.
No. That's a list. There's no list. These are just, hey, we need this many Denali, we need this many trucks.
People go out and look for them.
No, actually, you make deals with, I shouldn't even, well, I've already been convicted and I've already served my time. No, we had deals with a couple smaller, there's some of the car rental places are, they're independent. They're, what do you call it? Like McDonald's. Franchise. Yeah, so we had a couple deals with them. Okay. You go rent a car, make it disappear. And there's also a couple dealerships, because you gotta understand, they don't care if these come out, because they're insured for this. Also, they have to have something in the red so their tax guy can be happy right off. Otherwise, their dealership doesn't, it's all a numbers game, yeah. So that's where they come from. We didn't take them from, I don't think any one of them was ever taken from an individual. Okay. They were either the two different rental locations, and everything was smooth until one of the guys that worked for me goes over and decides, this kid that worked there, he got paid for it, but he did a little coke here and there. Girls know he thought he was cool, whatever. And I'll never forget, this guy Javier that worked for me decided to roll a bowl, show the kid methamphetamine instead of coke. So it was cheaper, and they're sitting there, and Javi was busy all the time, always over there anyway. So they're sitting there rolling the bowl. So the paperwork started getting screwed up. Then all of a sudden there's a warrant for my arrest and somebody else's arrest. And then, oh my God, it was just like, what the fuck?
So a lot of these businesses.
So easy, It was so easy. See, but that shows you right there what meth, rolling the bowl. He rolled the bowl for about 2 months, and paperwork, otherwise the paperwork was flawless. It was just.
Paperwork is what started causing everything to go down.
Because the paperwork was not, the paperwork started being flagged because this kid was not doing what he was supposed to do because he was too high on meth, or jerking his jerk out. And what?
These businesses
No, these are independent businesses. Some of them, their names, some of them are car dealerships. We were just working with them, breaking them off, getting them,
So when you said that he took the fall for the third husband.
Well, because they were trying to name him into it too, and he was involved with some of the stuff with negotiations, but if he would have been arrested in any kind of connection with it, he would have been, I had no criminal history. He had, ever since the age of 11, was in and out type of crap, and he also was pending charges in Texas and pending charges in Oklahoma. And they weren't small charges, and he had 2 small children he was, raising, a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old we got dumped on us. His kids, but his ex-wife has never will have access to those children. She's doing life in prison without eligibility or parole. So he's what, grandma, whatever, that's what the kids had,
I want to take this to a different, I want to take a different angle at this, and I want to, for those out there, I want to know, what are some of the less respectful acts that you have done for
drugs or money to get drugs? Sex with people I would never even talk to, let alone have sex with.
Now, did you have somebody over you, like a pimp or a?
I had a friend help me out. See, really looking back on that, I didn't mind when I did that. That was call girl stuff. I mean, I didn't mind when somebody handed me $3,000 and I didn't even have to fuck them, Yes. But it makes a difference when someone wants to hand you 30 over here and wants to do it behind a dumpster in every hole in your body.
Wow, that happened to you?
Not me, other girls. I won't accept it. I'll be out there. I'll be dope sick before that shit.
Yeah.
But see, I can do other things too. I mean, all the dope dealers love me because they know I can watch their dope and won't steal from them. So it helps me, Yeah, I mean, that helps me out a lot with some of them, yeah.
You just mentioned as far as having sex with someone you didn't want to have sex with, meaning that you would just get high and you could be in the moment and you were just like...
Hell, no. Are you kidding me? If I'm going to have sex with you, you better be somebody I like or I'm attracted to.
That's what
or, I mean, maybe party, but no, are you going to pay me something?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to do it for, whatever. So I used to advertise. That's when I first got out of prison. I told you I was going to stack that cash and get rid of all of you. I don't know why. Guess I turned gay in prison. I don't know. No, I didn't.
So you became your own manager.
Yes, and then I had my friend, though. He was involved with a little bit because, some people have to realize there is a man behind that shit. I don't care what girls say. You don't have to have a pimp. You don't have to be on the
Was he managing himself also? Was he out there doing the life also?
Oh, he's doing the life, but basically girls. He had girls that But I mean, I didn't need a pimp where like you got to tell him what to do every day, what to wear, give him all the money. No, I just need to have David go kick a door in 3 times when somebody didn't think I was serious.
Can you? Have you ever had have David kick a door in?
I had David. Yeah, he beat the life out of a pimp because he was trying to get me to go on the payroll, and I wasn't going to do it. And he was affecting my business. Yeah. Because they try to do that, but pimps. I mean, a lot of girls that are making good money, you don't need a pimp. I mean, I don't think you do because they just take your money. But if you're out there on the blade, the strand, whatever the hell they have, you're gonna have to have a pimp, and you can't go to certain locations. I mean, they're girls that they won't touch you, whatever. They won't talk to your pimp. They sell all that shit happens. But they'll send a pack of girls on you and beat the fucking shit out of you in the Denny's bathroom. But that's not, I was never, I know girls that had to do that shit, but I never was involved in that.
Did anybody ever, do you have a certain dealer you go to, or do you get from random people? No, I have a certain dealer I go to, but, sometimes I can't get there or whatever. So, when you're fucking with fentanyl, because it's a costly drug, and plus it's a do or die drug. You can die from it. How much does it cost?
Oh, it's like let me see. You want to know grams, or do you want? They sell points around here. Like where I'm from, North Dallas, they sell by the gram or half a gram because they're not going to go down and be selling that kind. Even traps and stuff won't sell it. But like South Dallas, they sell them in cabs. But here they sell it. It's called a point. $20 for a point. It's hardly anything. It's a tenth of a gram. Yeah, but all you need is that little bit. I mean, that little bit can kill you, and you still have some left for somebody else to pick it up while you're ODing.
So $100 for?
No, it's for like a gram and stuff. It's anywhere from 150 to 200.
How long does this high last?
Not that long.
Like it's a quick high. What would you compare it to? Like a cocaine high, a weed high?
Well, not the way it feels, but how long it lasts. I've compared to crack almost. It's longer than crack, but I'm just saying it's not. For what it costs and what it's like when you do heroin, like you have that high, like for when you gotta do another shot or do some more of it or snort it or whatever. But like fentanyl, it's like totally back.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you're back completely normal. Like oh god, but so people want to feel like that, so that they go get more and more and more and keep doing more, and it's very costly, but it's also you become like The Walking Dead.
So once the high goes away, mm-hmm. you're left with that emptiness, or just this.
Yeah, or the cycle of your head, like I need to go get some more.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or scared. Where's the next one coming from? Especially if you're living like out here when it's like hand to mouth. But like when I was doing it before, when Leon and I were still together, that's the fourth husband. He, I didn't have to worry about it. It was always there. I mean, always. In large amounts, and I'm not smoking that shit with a nectar collector. But that was not good when I withdrawal from that crap.
Being in this life, mm-hmm. What is the most dangerous situation that you've been in, near-death experience? But it's not ODing, but like in a traumatic situation that this life has caused you.
Well, I mean, losing everything and going to prison was pretty traumatic. But then after I got there, I was like, because I've been in county jail. I've been to 4 different counties, more than once, and but probably like the most traumatic thing, like actually to see something. I mean, be next to somebody with their head blown off in the car. And something's that's gonna happen, but like you don't realize
getting your head blown off in the car is gonna happen.
No, I mean I knew what they were gonna do to this person that needed to be done or whatever, but I don't know why I had to be.
What was this?
Because we had to go to the mall afterwards, according to my husband.
Take me back to the beginning of this day.
That's when I was selling too. With that wasn't with the that was when I was selling. No, this is the fourth husband. This is like when I had we were selling weight and stuff, and we were all cartelled up. And somebody, it was a problem with the person, and it was, and.
But what? So is this drug deal gone wrong? Or?
It was a problem. Something to do with money, and he wanted his money. So it's like if it wasn't handled, on our end, and it's like. You don't want to piss off the people that are supplying or helping you, make your money. You know what I'm saying? Who cut off heads for fun? Who wants to make them mad? You don't want your credit limit cut off or whatever. It just and actually, and that husband, the fourth one, he doesn't mind that stuff at all. I mean, he's a yeah. And I was in the back seat with this gentleman, and so and so was driving, and so was the passenger. And I knew something would happen, but one, I didn't need to see that. It didn't need to be that close. Plus, I couldn't hear. And that's really a very surreal feeling. Like you're like everything's going around you because you cannot hear. You don't know. Like you're looking at yourself. Am I shot? What the fuck just happened? Or who shot? What happened?
All enclosed inside.
Yeah, and and it was just stop at.
Was it just like blood on the window, just like boom?
It was all over the car, all over me. It's brain matter and stuff. Yeah. I mean, because he stopped at the light and just turned around and went boom, and just went through the light like nothing happened. And I'm sitting there screaming, which I shouldn't have been, but I was like, and then I was like, you motherfucker. No, and then I started cussing, and they said, oh, she's okay now. Because I was like, I can't hear, what the fuck, why did you do that? Like, now look at me, what am I going to do? Go home and change, yeah? What can you do? It's over with. You know?
How did they have to get rid of the body?
I don't know about that.
None of that?
No.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's rough.
So, especially sitting there having a conversation with this person. If you didn't like them, and you know they're a piece of shit and they need to die. I mean, you're still like, what happened? And especially that whole being that close to the sound is. I mean, you don't expect it. But he didn't make a sound because it was that fast. You know, it was over with. That was probably the most traumatic thing.
Yeah. Again, this is Prison Stories. What other?
No, that wasn't a prison story. That was in my car.
and this is the as far as Addict Stories and so much stuff has happened.
I can write a book.
What have you seen happen on the streets that kind of throws you? That just is probably unbelievable. That either that happened to you or happened to someone else.
I've seen people being. I've seen people shot. I've seen people open fire on one of the places over there, spray the front of the store. And it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, but there were still people sitting out there. And I've had somebody, one of the guys I buy fentanyl from, and he had a newborn baby and a 7-year-old child in his house, and they sprayed the front of his house, all up, this is right over here. Just because competition type shit, bullshit. And on the streets too, I've seen also somebody just buying a bike and a girl and with a 2x4 take it to another girl. And they're out there in the street going out over some dude. And the police are just sitting there going, oh, look at those girls. They're so cute. Should we stop it? No. Because they don't like to do it. They don't like to deal with females when we're combated like that. They don't like that crap at all.
Especially they don't have another female officer there.
Yeah, it's just it's also because girls, we get loud and we get squirrely, we get handsy and that kind of stuff, especially if we're in a fight or something. But there's been a lot of nasty stuff out here on these streets here. Yeah. I'm sure it's everywhere, but this is like, or people just grabbing their girlfriend, beating her up in the street. I've seen that a lot. It's like, oh, look, he's back, he's home. Go sit up there on Carol, you'll see it. I'll tell you where to sit at, you'll see it.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
As far as for you, I know again, ODing is probably like the worst thing that can happen to you. But what is the
Not really.
What is the worst thing you've had to do for drug money? Like, would you say if you would throw it out there?
Sex with somebody I didn't want to have. I mean, sex with something as I call it. Having sex with somebody I would never ever have sex with.
Were you married at the time during this?
Well, I'm still married, honey. So you're talking about like emotionally? Was I with her?
Like when you were on the streets and you were.
No, no, not emotionally. I was never like connected, married, like yeah.
Right.
No, I wouldn't have to do that if I was still by their side or whatever. They would never let me do that. The men that I've been married with, they might be some nasty people and do some, whatever they do, but they would never ever make a woman hoe if they didn't want to, especially their partner or their wife or whoever. They're not about that shit. Not every gangster, whatever the hell they are, or bad people. Not every one of them are like that. They're not.
Right.
It's disgusting. Or these guys that think they're pimps or whatever, but their wife or girlfriend, the love of their life, bitch, go give me something. While they sit there, they're a hustler, they're a gangster, whatever the hell they want to be, and they're sitting there doing nothing. They're playing Nintendo all day while that girl's out there, beating that pussy up, for them. I'm sorry, my language.
No, you're good.
But those guys are, worthless. I respect a real pimp. That's what it's about. But there's rules they follow. Not this new age crap. Sorry, I'm old.
Well, the thing about your age is that you've actually seen the popularity of drugs come in and out, like you said back in the day. You started off with marijuana
and cocaine,
more popular, and then can you tell me what drugs gradually became in and out during the 70s, the 80s, the 90s?
Well, 70s I'm still a little young, but weed has changed a lot because it's different, especially with some of it being, legal, and then it was legal, it was medicinal or commercial, and then you got all these other things, and you have vapes, and you have, and all this, and doctors on board, and they're finding out there's different things that, can help with the weed and stuff. And, but cocaine was interesting because it powder. And then, here's crack, let's see what we can do with that, and crack. And it was weird to think about cocaine and like people that did cocaine or used cocaine, well, they've never ever seen of using crack, and they put all those people down. And but it was like, do you guys realize it's the same drug? I mean, what it's just, I guess, the demographic, and we know what crack was for. Anyways, it didn't work out because we all love it.
What was crack for in your?
My opinion, crack was it's just like, crack to me it was. And I've heard some people up in like Hamilton Park area talking about this at meetings and stuff. It was created for one thing, and then there was super crack, because crack, we got the super crack come in because what they wanted to do is they wanted to make sure that anybody that, they wanted to weed out certain levels of income and personality and disorder in the African American community. They saw what it was doing to them, so let's get rid of them. Just like they, but then they realized, hey, there's a white dude sitting in his garage going, this shit is great, it's better than that shit when I snort it, and so they don't realize, like, I guess because they're politicians or they're pharmaceutical companies or whoever they are, they don't realize that other people like it. It's just like the thing with the AIDS virus, the HIV thing, you know what that was for too. Get the junkies off the street, kill them off, and the fags. Sorry to say it, that's how they said it, the faggots. So here they are doing with the crack, and then they're doing it. They're thinking this world's going to become a special place. And it's all because I'm a politician. Hate to say it. And, so they did that with HIV. And then all of a sudden, I'll never forget, sitting on my couch in California, there's a press conference. Magic Johnson walks on the stage. Thank you, he's almighty. And he says, I do not use drugs, never have, and I've never ever been anywhere near a man close enough to even have a sexual relationship with him. And I don't use IV drugs. So, So what's going on? So anybody. And my wife is pregnant, and she and the baby, they're going to be fine,
Right.
So that changed the whole world, like spinning around like, oh my God, how'd this happen? Oh my God, oh my God, somebody kill him. Someone put him in her back, So, and that was like, that changed the world on that, And there's also, people also realized too, if they were getting it from needles or getting it from sex, there might have been, father of three, he's out there with a boyfriend, on the side, or he was mainlining shit up in the, alley with a girl. You never know. That's a whole nother podcast, right?
There was something called the Fenty Bend.
The what?
Fenty Bend, when you see someone bent over on the fentanyl.
They used to do that in heroin too.
Oh, yeah. They made it like a thing that fentanyl is the only cause of this.
Actually, I've seen it more on heroin than anything. And they'll bend over like that, and then and it's funny because they'll be talking to you, and then they go out. That's more on heroin because they're shooting it, and it lasts a lot longer. You can't, the Fenty Bend, it wouldn't last that long because the drug don't last that long. The high doesn't. But like they're bent over, they're talking to you, Nelson, they bend over, and they'll get all the way almost to the ground, and can pull themselves all the way up and finish the conversation, even though they've been bending for like the last 10 minutes. It's crazy. But you got to talk to some heroin addicts on that one.
In America today,
none around though.
In America today, one of the main problems that America is experiencing, especially in low birth rates and in the Caucasian community, is the epidemic with fentanyl itself. Mm-hmm. One being so lethal, one being imported from just about anybody that can import it, and we are consuming it at an all-time high. What do you feel that this fentanyl crisis or epidemic that we're going through in America is kind of like the reverse of crack, like to white people, to Caucasians?
Maybe, yeah.
Because as we see the use of pills, or we see the use of fentanyl, it's not really that much the Black community that is struggling with this. It is the Caucasian community.
Yeah, upper middle to upper income too.
And the age has no limit, because we are seeing children as young as 16, 15 and younger experimenting for the first time with something that has been laced and taking them out the first time. Do you think that there is maybe, and I'm not saying it's an American thing, but for example, we're seeing a lot of border patrol, a lot of borders security tighten up for the influx of fentanyl that is coming into America from Mexico, for example. Do you think that is purpose? Do you think that is on purpose?
I mean, I don't really know yet, because you can get fentanyl off the internet too, shipped to your door. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than these people are charging. I don't know why they're charging so much for it.
But the numbers that the white community is the numbers, the population that is hitting. Is there any, like I said, do you feel that there's any type of like reversal from crack to African Americans, fentanyl to white Caucasian people,
the Caucasians that they don't want around? Yeah, kill them off.
Exactly.
The addicts. It's embarrassing, because we have. I don't know if it's because in the U.S. we just blurt out everything. Everything's freedom of speech or whatever. But other countries now are sitting on about that kind of crap. But they might have the same problems, but they just don't they don't out their stuff like we do. We don't talk. And fentanyl is a lot of people don't even understand fentanyl. I mean, what it is or why it was created. And there's like 7 different fentanyls now. I mean, I always knew what carb fentanyl was in fentanyl, because carb fentanyl is made for animals, large animals, zoo animals, to anesthetize them and stuff, and help them with their pain, if they have a tooth problem, whatever. So that first was the stuff we were getting, but you can't get that anymore now. I don't care what anybody says, they can't get carb fentanyl. It's carb, like carbonator.
That's the top.
Yeah, that's strong. They're just not gonna get it.
That's the high you want. Like if you can find that is the money.
Yeah, but see, like my uncle wears a fentanyl patch that's prescribed to him, because he has a lot of pain. He's had it for years, because he was in Vietnam. He was blown up or whatever. He has walking problems, and he's in so much pain all the time. But and he couldn't take morphine, because fentanyl is synthetic. Morphine is natural for an opium plant. They have just like hydrocodone, and there's some are natural and some are the synthetic. And he had to take that because he had to take off a morphine patch because it was making him itch and do all sorts of other weird things. Yeah, right. So the doctor was like, let's try this fentanyl patch, But I could take 2 of his. They're 100 milligrams, and they like produce out through a period of time he wears it. Time release. But you can push a time release if you do certain things to it. And I used to do that, and I'd take 200 patches and put on me and do what I need to do to it to get it all released at once. And it still sometimes wouldn't get me well. So, but that's when I was doing a lot of fentanyl, like over a gram a day.
When was this?
This is probably 2022, 23.
Okay, so
yeah,
right
so yeah, no, what was COVID? COVID was way back to 2020. 2020.
2020.
Yeah, no, this was it was like right when COVID started to wind down. Like people started getting real, Okay. But yeah, and that was crazy because I put one right here, and to get them hot, it looked like I was jerking myself off. Get them hot because it would all go out at once. I'd be rubbing it, so it would put everything out that like my uncle would have for releasing for I don't know how many days, 10 days, 30 days, whatever. And there was 2 of them, and you can hear it because that's your big ones, your big ears. And I'd just be like, oh God, it's not working. It's because it's a different, it's a lower end fentanyl than even what they give you in the hospital. Through an IV because they want to make sure you don't die on it. But here we are smoking in the corner now. I mean, and this girl I know that used to be his nurse used to try to. She would pull it off of there, off the patch.
One more thing I want to ask you: what was when you were in a better state? Like I guess when you're 6 figures, 2008, 2007. Around this time is when pills really started picking up and becoming more accessible. Actually, as we get into 2010, 2011.
That's
how did
when
you notice your circle change? with the prescription of OxyContin that was leading a lot of people into...
Well, see, I had a script on all of it. Yeah, that's what it started. I had a script. I liked hydrocodone, so I'd get them once in a while, like if I had something happen or whatever, this and that. But then that's when I was like, okay, let me see. I got good insurance. I got,
Did you have some friends around you checked as well?
Yeah, they did. They were still, whatever you call it, working people, okay, but they're a little bit more, open to whatever. But it was like, we sat around and thought about like, okay, well, the doctor gave it to us, so, I had a doctor he was giving me pain pills, he was giving me, benzos, and he was giving me also, and then he started giving me Adderall so I could stay awake at work. So there you go. So there's there's like in Streetwise, there's your heroin, there's your meth, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. We do these stories and we try to, of course, prevent, young people from, taking, their opportunities away by doing drugs. If you were to give, some advice to someone young that hasn't experimented with drugs yet and they may be thinking about delving into this world, what would you tell them?
If you want, first off, don't let anybody ever tell you have to try something or do something. Another, student, a brother, a sister, whatever, even a mother, father, you see that too. It's not worth it. There's other things. All it does is produce what they call dopamine in your body. You can get dopamine from masturbating or having an orgasm. You get dopamine from hang gliding or doing something like this. You guys are high right now because you produce dopamine because it's something you want to do, you love, whatever, music, whatever. There's other things out there. You just got to find it. And don't ever let anybody tell you that you're a piece of shit and, hey, this makes you feel better. You're not a piece of shit. You just haven't found what shit is good for you that is not a drug or alcohol. If you want to try it, you try it, but it's nothing good comes out of any of this shit. It really doesn't, God knows that too, But God is not, and God's not angry with y'all because you're humans, But, He wants people like me and you guys to help prevent this shit, And it's not taking it away from them. It's not putting them in jail. It's not doing all that. All it is action and reaction. So education is mainly what you need. And education has to come from people like you, people like me, not some jerk in a doctor's office that's going, I hope they never come here. Because I'm going to give them something I want.
Right. Last question, I just want to know, what are some of if you can give a shout out to some of the organizations, nonprofits or anything out there that have helped you along the way, that have been really good for your, whether it be mental, your physical, or your whatever. Are there any organizations?
I can't remember what their name is over there. It's the rehab center for like women. It's in like Mesquite, Dallas. What the hell is it called? They're really good. I actually spoke there when I was sober. And actually, I do have to say, I'll give a shout out even to the prison system because I was blessed with a program they had that helped us. It was a reentry program and that helped a lot. So you had some. It was called Strive, but I think it was dissolved when because it was coming. They started with I was the second graduating class for whatever. That was what we got. Like we have resources, a job, clothes, a place to stay, instead of just like here's the gate, here's your gate money.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me go find my homeboys and come right back here.
Right.
But COVID really screwed that thing up. But there's
So there's a place in Mesquite.
God, it's Mesquite, but it shows up as Dallas. I can't even think of what it's called right now. They'll take you in there. There's no questions asked, and they will medical detox on you if you want to go somewhere else after. Like if you've been involved in some kind of other thing where you can't just be there. Like if you're in sex trafficking things, like underground things that they're trying to get you out of. But you also can stay there for like 30 days. They'll help resources with jobs and home, whatever. And I can't remember what it's called. Sometimes they go there from the court, but I could go over there right now, and they let me in there. But I will say that shout out to a lot of the hospitals treat us like pieces of shit. They really do. I got to shout out to the firefighters, the paramedics are dealing with this stuff because they're not like they're doing their job. They're not judging anybody. They're educating themselves on their own. They're having to because hospitals and people are not supportive to help these guys that are front line, the ones that are saving my life. If I don't have Narcan. And there was and there's out in McKinney. There was, I want to say Baylor Hospital treated me like shit, threw me out in the street there because And then the lady from this one place said, no, we're going to take you over to Medical City. They kept me for Medical City of McKinney. Kept me there for 2.5 weeks and the doctor there did some great things. And like, the staff there, they were like, I don't care about your drug addiction, I care about your heart. Because my heart was a problem. My heart had a blood clot and stuff. And that's probably from the drugs, fentanyl, mainly. Yeah.
There you go. No, man, with that being said, no, we definitely appreciate you having the courage to come on here and speak about, just again,
I'm sorry, I talk too much. So.
No.
You talk too much.
This is education.
Yeah.
So Lisa, I do want to say, again, Addict Stories 101, if you don't mind, if there was something that people could do to help out people like yourself, is it more so getting these stories out? Is it money? Is it monetary? Or?
Well, money can come and go. It's not the basis of everything. I mean, because I've had a lot of money and I've had no money, and that will come to you, even if everything's been taken away from you. If you believe in God, you believe in Jesus, read the book of Job with the Bible. You'll understand it. The book of Job, he gives everything back. Don't blame him. He's giving you every resource you can't, you can just gotta take it and use it right, and make sure that you recognize him every day and he'll walk with you. He doesn't walk in front of you, he doesn't walk behind you, he walks with you every day. God, he'll be there and you'll see that the door open with him. But if you don't believe in any of that, just sit down with the devil and go ahead and smoke some more fentanyl, which I plan on doing, but not with the devil, just with some friends.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Well,
I'm a smart ass, sorry.
Lisa, I do thank you for your time.
Well, thank you guys. Yeah. My knee. I need to have knee surgery that has nothing to do with anything with drug addiction. It's been going on for too long, and I don't want to have it done. No, it's just it's an old injury. Yeah, I used to play competitive sports at one time. Yeah.